In Episode 1, the Royal Guard engages in a high-stakes battle against Quincy's. Senjumaru Shutara wields her Bankai to temporarily halt the Quincy's, while Ichibe Hyosube uses his Shinuchi to gain control of the Quincy King's power by changing his name. However, King reveals his true ability, the Almighty, allowing him to foresee every move against him and ultimately overcome Ichibe, securing his path to the Soul King's palace. Meanwhile, Uryu Ishida betrays Senjumaru, turning her Bankai against her, freeing the other Quincy's for the ultimate confrontation. The episode reaches a peak as Quincy King approaches the Soul King and delivers a lethal strike, leaving viewers on a cliffhanger that suggests devastating consequences. Meanwhile, head captain Shunsui Kyoraku briefly visits the imprisoned Sosuke Aizen, hinting at a possible alliance to stop Quincy, with Ichigo and his team racing to intervene. This episode sets the stage for an intense showdown, as the fate of all three realms hangs in the balance. In this episode, the long-awaited battle between Ichigo and the Quincy King begins. Ichigo shows off his new abilities after training with Squad Zero, wielding 2 Zanpakuto and displaying significant growth. However, the Quincy King reveals his awakened eyes, giving him the ability to predict all of Ichigo's moves, which tilts the battle in his favor. One of the major moments in this episode is the revelation that the Quincy King needed Ichigo to kill the Soul King. Ichigo's unique combination of powers from Quincy's, humans, Soul Reapers, Fullbringers, and Hollows makes him the only one capable of breaking the seal on the Soul King. After stabbing the Soul King, the Quincy King leaves the sword for Ichigo to pull, knowing Ichigo would try to save him. However, the sword's connection to Ichigo's Quincy blood leads to a devastating turn of events. The king also explains that all Quincy's, including Ichigo, have a natural desire for the Soul King's downfall, as he failed to prevent the near extinction of their race. In Episode 3, focuses on Shunsui Kyoraku's visit to the central Great Underground Prison's deepest level, Mukin, where Sosuke Aizen is imprisoned. Shunsui seeks Aizen's help as a last resort against the Quincy's. Aizen, notorious for his past treason and desire for godhood, had been sealed in Mukin with multiple restrictions due to his immense power, particularly after being infused with the Hogyoku. Shunsui unseals Aizen's mouth, and in a surprising turn, Aizen releases his remaining seals on his own. The two then engage in a tense conversation, where Aizen questions whether Shunsui expects him to use his powers for the Soul Society's benefit. Shunsui, however, clarifies that their interests may align more than Aizen realizes. Both are opposed to Quincy King's desire to control everything. Aizen's ambitions are self-centered. They indirectly align with the Soul Society's desire to preserve the current order of the world. This interaction highlights Aizen's formidable presence and power in the story. Both enemies and allies seek to prevent Quincy King's ascension. Bleach takes a pivotal turn by dedicating a fully realized, intense battle between Ichigo and Uryu. This clash explores the conflict and stakes of the Soul Reapers versus Quincy War, where their personal and ideological differences reach an emotionally charged climax. The episode stands out for conveying the power of Uryu's speed and Ichigo's strength through dynamic action scenes. The episode also provides anime-exclusive scenes that deepen the tragic nature of their fallout, contrasting with the manga's fast-paced duel. The voice acting from Ichigo and Uryu enhances the episode's impact, portraying a deeply personal and painful clash. The Betrayer also weaves in supporting characters in battles that don't detract from the main duel. The animation, story pacing, and focus on Ichigo's struggles highlight his darkest hour, as the final battle continues to intensify, setting up further developments. The Soul Society faces disaster with the Soul King gone, and Yhwach seizing control, as a swarm of tiny black creatures floods the realm, attacking indiscriminately and even resisting Byakuya's Senbonzakura. In the midst of this chaos, Aizen arrives, restrained yet exuding enough power to eliminate the threat with sheer presence, demonstrating strength that outshines even the captains. Despite resentment over needing his help, Kyoraku's decision to fight evil with evil speaks to the extreme measures required to protect the Soul Society from collapse. As allies emerge unexpectedly to join this desperate defense, the urgency grows to reach the Soul King's palace before Yhwach can fully consume the Soul King's power. Aizen's chanting of his famous Hado spell is beautifully animated, with a silent backdrop that enhances the tension of his entrance. Alongside Aizen, the arrival of another beloved character further raises the stakes, promising key confrontations that could shift the course of this intense battle. The episode picks up after the return of Grimjo Jagerjax, a character loved by fans. While his brief reunion with Ichigo Kurosaki is shorter than some viewers may have wanted, it still adds some needed character interaction. The episode focuses mainly on Ichigo and his allies as they prepare for the final battle, filled with some lighthearted moments that remind fans of Bleach's earlier days. Grimmjow doesn't reveal much about his past or survival, suggesting that more could be shared later in the series. The standout aspect of this episode is the impressive animation. Quincy King creates a new realm from Seireitai's ruins, giving a sense of dread and power. Other scenes, like the group's travel and Urahara's gate creation, are good but simpler in detail. Despite having some quieter scenes, the episode manages to keep a good balance, setting up the story for upcoming epic battles. It's a stronger and more action-oriented step forward compared to last week's episode, preparing viewers for major events ahead.